Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Demon Slayer. Last time around we had the Hashira meeting, where basically Nezuko rejected the offer of human blood, much to the surprise of most of the Hashira, and basically proved that, yeah, she won't go after humans, you know? So that was good. So Tanjiro and Nezuko have been cleared by the Master, and they were sent off to basically recuperate, especially Tanjiro, because he's still very, very injured. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, there was also, like, Zenitsu was screaming, but who cares, you know? Anywho, yeah, that's pretty much that. Like always, the reaction is down in the description and in the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure. So let's go ahead and jump right into this episode of Demon Slayer. Here we go. Oh, alright, so we've now figured out the most human of the Hashira, finally. I mean, I'm sure they'll all have moments like that, but that was good to see. That was good to see, because, I mean, it definitely is the thing of, like, every time you see Shinobu, there is something off about her, you know? So it's nice to see that more human side, you know? And then you see all the rest of the Hashira, and you're like, okay, so she's kind of normal compared to the rest of them. Jiminy. Alright, so we'll just, like, keep jumping Shinobu up on my list of favorite characters, so. And I know, there's the obvious reason that I like Shinobu, but, meh. But honestly, like, I'm liking this, like, just immediate character stuff, you know? Maybe one reason I like it, because we spent so long before we got Tomioka back, that it's like, oh, hey, let's immediately get Shinobu, and immediately figure out, you know, like, her backstory and everything, and learn about her, and it's like, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Alrighty, Rehabilitation Training. Oh, I will forever be conflicted about Zenitsu. It's just the little things, you know? It's just the little things. Shut up! That's the whole thing with Zenitsu. It's very difficult. Now, there are some moments that are okay. I kind of liked the moment where he's yelling at Tanjiro and Inosuke. He's like, oh, you get to hang out with girls all day. I like too, because he sticks with that. I like that, like, because the obvious joke is he blows up about the fact that, oh, you guys have been hanging out with these cute girls all day. You know, you've been touching them and everything. You're always touching each other, and so the obvious joke is he gets in there, and it's all terrible. You know, now he experiences their pain. I love this is a good way of doing the joke that. No, he does still love it. He does still love it. Like, the only part that he didn't like was when Aoi just punched him, you know? So, like, that was, like, the only thing that was not cool with him, basically. Where he was like, I won the fight, but I lost the war. You know? So, I like that. That was really funny. That it's like, yeah, it is still a paradise, even if they're really torturing him and, stretching all of his muscles and stuff. It's like, no, a girl is touching him. He's okay with this, you know? So that was kind of funny. And then, yeah, I honestly, I really do like just all the girls at the Butterfly Mansion. So obviously I like Shinobu. I love how, Kano is, like, way more mysterious now. It's like, yeah, she just doesn't talk, you know? She's just, I mean, I guess, I don't know, she's just kind of an introverted girl, I guess, you know? She just She's very reserved. She doesn't really talk that much, you know? We have seen her talk. We have seen her talk before, but she's just a very reserved girl, and more power to her, you know? But yeah, part of it is the fact that they her and all of the Hashira are using total concentration breathing at all times, you know? I mean, that really is, because I made the reference to it. It's like in Dragon Ball Z when they figure out how to leave Super Saiyan on the whole time, and they just exist. They're like, yeah, we left it on, you know? We figured out how to just leave it on all the time, you know? It's kind of like that, you know? Or I guess you could even say like sort of hormone breathing, you know, to relate it more towards the breathing. You know, it's kind of like hormone, where it's like, yeah, you just kind of have to keep a lot of that up, you know? So yeah, so I like that idea that it's like, yeah, they use total concentration breathing all the time, and now Tanjiro is trying to learn that, you know? Learn? Anyway, so he's trying to learn all of that, and yeah, it's difficult because when he uses it, you know, he can use it in short bursts, and he's still also, you know, recovering from Mount Nanagumo. So he's, you know, working on that, but he's getting there. He is getting there, so I like it. And I like how they say, you know, one of the ways to do that is to blow into the gourd. A gourd, which, you know, is a really hard, you know, thing. And then the fact that it's like... sorry, there's a hair in my mouth. It's not just blowing into the gourd, which, you know, will help your lungs and everything, but it's blowing in the gourd so hard that it explodes, you know? This, like, you know, really solid, strong, you know, thing, blowing it up with your own breath. And then it's like, and this is what Kanao uses, and it's just, you know, it's comedically huge, and it's like, okay, Tanjiro has some work to do. You can definitely tell why Kanao is a higher rank, you know? And it's interesting too, because it's like, oh, well, it's because she was trained by Shinobu, a Hashira, you know? But at the same time, so was Tanjiro. And so was Zenitsu. They were both of their masters were former Hashira, but they did not learn the, you know, total concentration breathing at all times thing. But maybe they just couldn't get there, you know? Maybe they just couldn't get there. I don't know. I'm also curious, though. So I assume that Kanao trained before final selection with Shinobu. I assume that's what they're implying, that, you know, like, I assume that instead of she trained with someone else, went through final selection, and then was apprenticed to Shinobu. But I don't know. I assume it's that, which is why she's, you know, if she's been doing this for a couple years, yeah, of course she's, you know, really good at that. But it brings up the question of why didn't Urokodaki and Zenitsu's master teach them that? But I suppose the easy answer is they were nowhere near ready for that. You know? Whereas Kanao, she's a lot better at that, you know? She's way more... I guess you could say she's a bit more gifted, honestly. You know? So, yeah. So that was interesting. And then we got to talk with Shinobu, which she shows up. She just pops into existence, basically. And I like that, because it's not just that she just showed up. I like that you do see when she leaves, she just vanishes, you know? It's like, that's how fast she is, you know? So, I enjoyed that, but I like the talk, and yeah, the only person who'd be able to figure it out is Tanjiro, being able to smell. I mean, of course, when you just say it, you know, when you just say it out loud, it's like, oh yeah, Tanjiro smelled her. Okay, that's kind of weird out of context, but in context, it makes a bit more sense. But yeah, but he could smell the anger, basically. And yeah, we got her backstory. It's like, yeah, why it's so difficult. And yeah, it makes sense that all of the Hashira, because that's the thing is, as crazy as a lot of the Hashira were, and they were pretty crazy, especially Scarman Frank, you understood why they all distrusted Nezuko, you know? Why they were all like, I don't know about this, you know? Like, you understand why. It's just that, you know, you're on the side of Nezuko because you've been watching the show this long, you know? So now we get Shinobu's backstory, that her sister was killed by a demon, but she was a lot like Tanjiro. She always found sympathy for the demons, you know? And so yeah, she does carry on that dream, but those feelings of anger and hatred, those do dwell in her, but she's willing to let those feelings go at a point and to, you know, be friends with the demon, you know? She's willing to get to that point. She wants to get to that point. That is her dream. But there is still a lot of stuff within her. So that was good. I really enjoyed that. Again, just add another layer to Shinobu. I'm really happy for that. So yeah, and then she just vanished in the blink of an eye, you know? So yeah, Shinobu popping up into my favorite characters list. I haven't even like really considered who my favorite characters are in this show, so I don't know where any of them place. I can't even like okay, if I were to name like just who is my favorite character flat out, who's my favorite character in this show, maybe I guess maybe just Tanjiro, you know, because he's had the most development. I enjoy Tomioka and Urokodaki. Inosuke, I would say, is probably up there. Miss Tamayo is probably up there too. I guess Nezuko. I feel like Nezuko of everyone has actually had the least like screen time, which is weird because she's technically in every episode, but I don't know. I mean, like, look, I love Nezuko, but in terms of like favorite characters, like when I really stop and think, I guess it would at this moment have to be Tanjiro. So, but Shinobu definitely now a contender, now. So that's pretty good. And then yeah, Tomioka, Urokodaki, Miss Tamayo, Inosuke, definitely up there. Zenitsu is not. We can make a definite, you know, sort of bottom. If we kind of bottom out our main characters, I'd probably put Zenitsu at the bottom of the main characters. Like, I'm not taking into account all the Hashira or any of them because we barely have seen any of them. But in terms of our main characters, I would probably put Zenitsu pretty low to the bottom. So, meh. Anywho, but yeah. Interesting stuff. Very, very interesting stuff. So that is basically it. Yeah. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist for all of my Demon Slayer reactions, as well as another video you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.